Hi dancers, welcome back to the channel. Hamstring flexibility seems to be something that a lot of dancers are working on, and so I thought we would go over exactly what the hamstrings look like today, where they are in the body, and how you can actually stretch them with exercises and stretches that you may not be as familiar with. So first of all, this is what the hamstrings look like. There are actually 3 different hamstring muscles. They start all the way up at the top of your hip and go all the way down into the knee. Your hamstring muscles there's the 3 of them. They kind of look like they're in a line. We have the biceps femoris muscle in the middle. Then we have the semimembranosus, the most medial one, and the semitendinosus as well. However, the biceps femoris is the one that is the largest muscle and usually the strongest. But sometimes we will also feel the other 2 get a little bit tight along with the inner thighs when it feels like we need to work on more hamstring flexibility or we can't get our leg as high as we want. So when it comes to these muscles, it's important to notice that these muscles are attached up to the hip and surrounded by the glutes. They're also down to the knee. So they're going to affect both joints at the hip and at the knee. The actions of these muscles are hip extension, which is taking the leg back behind you, think like an arabesque or a tendu to the back. And then these muscles are also responsible for bending the knee. So those are the primary 2 actions that they perform. Now they do help with some other movements. The semimembranosus or biceps femoris can help with internal and external rotation of the knee or of the hip just to support that, but it's not its primary action. I want you to focus more on the strength of these muscles with the knee bending and hip extension like I just showed you, and also hamstring flexibility, which is something a lot of us need to work on. So for our exercises today, the first exercise we're going to do is actually a nerve glide. We not only have these muscles here attached to our body and to our skeleton, but we also have nerves that flow from the spinal cord all the way out through our body and attach through the muscles and tell our muscles when they need to contract and relax. So with these nerves, sometimes what happens if we have a muscle that's really tight, it can actually kind of compress on the nerve a bit, and we want our nerves to be able to move and glide nice and easily. So the first exercise is a hamstring nerve glide on your back. Go ahead and lay down flat. You're gonna lay here and bring one leg up in the air, and all I want you to do is keep the leg straight, and we're gonna flex and point the foot. Flex and point. It might not seem like much, and that's okay, but when you're doing it, as you flex the foot, you should feel a deeper stretch through the hamstrings and maybe even all the way up into your hip. So as you flex, it should feel harder. And relax. Let's go for a few more. 3, 2, and 1. Good, switch to the other side. Whenever I'm working on hamstring flexibility, I usually like to start with these exercises so it gets a little bit of movement going through the nerves first, and we can kind of see like where those tight spots are in the muscle rather than just doing a bunch of hamstring stretches. Something like this is going to be really helpful if you have any lower back injuries or like sciatica, piriformis syndrome. Now, even though I'm not a physical therapist, I do know that a lot of these nerve glides will really focus on the nerves that go all the way up from the lower back through the hip and to the hamstring. So we're going to have some benefits there no matter what. Last 3, 2, 1, relax. Good job. From here, I want you to flip over. And we're going to take one leg forward, so we're in this kind of half kneeling position. This is another nerve glide. We're going to flex the foot and look forward slightly with the head, point the foot and look down to the floor. Flex and look up, point and look down. And you don't have to look up very high, but I want you to really coordinate the movement of your head to the movement of your foot. One more time. Perfect. Come back in. Let's switch that to the other side. Straighten that leg out. And again, flex, look up, point, look down. Now you might notice that one side feels tighter than the other. That's very normal, but pay attention because you might need to do a few extra reps on that tighter side. If you feel any sharp stabbing pains at all with these stretches, you might be doing too much or there might be something else going on. So I recommend seeing a physical therapist if you're feeling any sort of muscle pain or joint pain here. But if something just feels sore or tight, usually we can work through it by breathing and being gentle. One more time. Perfect. All right. Very nice. Good. So that is some nerve glides. Next, let's do some dynamic stretches for the hamstrings. Go ahead and stand up. This one is really popular in a lot of the athletic populations, especially in exercise or sports like soccer or football. They're called hamstring scoops. So I'm going to step out and flex the foot, scoop with my arms down, reach the arms up. Other side. Heel, flex foot, scoop, and up, scoop, and up. And we're just alternating. Sides here. Hopefully it feels like you can get a deeper stretch each time. One more time each direction, or each side, I mean. Perfect, good. And then one last dynamic stretch is actually just a really big leg swing forward and back. Try to keep your legs straight. Foot can be flexed or pointed or relaxed, whatever feels good. And then switch to the other side. All right, beautiful, good. So those two exercises are more dynamic stretches. Other stretches that you could include would be static stretches, like laying on your back, holding the leg up for 30 seconds, or doing a static stretch here, holding that position. Anything that's gonna be for the hamstrings and holding a position for 30 seconds is considered a static stretch. So these exercises can definitely still be helpful. But if you're only doing static stretches and it's starting to feel like everything is just still pretty tight, then it might be time to try something different with other methods like nerve mobility or the dynamic stretches that I just showed you. If you have any other questions about hamstring flexibility, please let me know. And I would love to hear how you're feeling after you did a few of these exercises on each side. Leave a comment below so I can learn more about your splits progress and your hamstring flexibility goals. I will see you guys next week.